They're using your data, your image, your information to feed the AI beast. You have to be aware of it. You have to limit your data. You have to make sure that you're not putting out too much data. You're not answering all these stupid quizzes on Facebook. You have to stop this right now before it gets out of control. Once this AI is in place, you will not be able to hear me anymore. You will not be able to hear the voices of truth out there, the voices of reason. It'll be very hard to find this information. Welcome to CHN. This is B.Sampler, your oracle. And on today's show, we are taking a break from all the memo talk, the text message talk. All that is good stuff. And you, based-anons, are siphoning through it and getting all the good pieces out to bring down the deep state globalists. But today's show, we are going to talk about artificial intelligence.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What's the problem?
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
What are you talking about, Hal?
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
In all the recent news lately, in the past 2 days alone, how more and more articles are being pumped into the mainstream, telling people about artificial intelligence, how great it is, where it's being used. We're going to talk about all the little things that deep learning and AI are being used for currently. China is investing massively in this new AI technology race. They are second place right now, but they are catching up to us at an exponential rate. Where oil fueled the Industrial Revolution, data and big data is fueling the AI revolution. Data is the lifeblood for this technology. And China, due to its surveillance nature, and they have all this abundance of data because they have no privacy in China. And now, more than ever, they are implementing technology that we here in America don't even have yet. Things that you would say, oh, why is that important? Well, it's not really important for society, but it's important for AI, for the AI system that they are creating, the beast system, the number of the beast system. So here we go. First, an article out of Wired magazine, Wired Business. And it's to make AI smarter, humans perform oddball, low-paid tasks. And I'm going to link all the articles below in the comments because you need to read all these articles in detail. And this article goes over how these modern-day sweatshop companies that Amazon and Google own are hiring people at $1 to $2 per hour to do menial tasks for artificial intelligence. Almost like watching a hamster spin on a wheel or a monkey in a zoo scratching its ass. These people are paid to record themselves picking up a red mug, a blue mug, doing various tasks. For example, you can get hired to go to grocery stores, these smart grocery stores, and pick things up off of shelves, put them in your cart, and then put them back on the shelf. Now, these smart grocery stores, like the Amazon Go store, have teams of humans behind all the smart technology to fix the data being inputted, or to fix the algorithms. Those are the more prestigious jobs in the AI, but there are literal jobs that have you all day recording yourself doing different tasks and sending in that data to Amazon for them to analyze for their deep learning. This article is very startling. This woman brags about walking around a grocery store for a few hours, going home editing 30 minutes of clips because all Amazon's website Mechanical Turk needs is 2 to 5 seconds of clips per clip, and a few days later she's paid $3.50. These companies are even using children, which is illegal according to Amazon's business practice and law, and holding these seminars where hundreds of cameras are placed around the seminar and charades are performed, where kids perform games like charades and things, and the computers are learning. Is the kid doing jumping jacks? Is the kid, holding up a red ball, a blue ball? And this data is what feeds the AI structure, the construct. Now, you may think this is a good thing that hundreds of new startup companies are being formed and, secret shadow investors are investing in these small companies. Companies like 20 billion. Now, you should look into 20 billion, a small tech company that focuses on artificial intelligence with advertising and supermarkets. Companies like this and also proponents of this technology believe every aspect of life and business should be and will be mediated by artificial intelligence. These people will end up worshiping this artificial intelligence like a god. Right now, we live in a society where we listen to the TV and pop culture and media, and if they say something is, then you believe it. If they say Donald Trump's a racist, then the average person believes it. Imagine a culture where artificial intelligence is everywhere, in everyone's phone, in everyone's computer, in everyone's TV and house, and it's telling you what to believe, and it's censoring the fake news. It's censoring stuff that you are not allowed to listen to. Things like you're listening to right now. This video is almost a warning to the future. When you are cut off from these things, before it's too late, we must stop this technology before it gets out of hand. Now, this AI, like I said, is constantly in need of data. And that's where the human interface comes in. When you see that Google car driving around with the hundreds of cameras all over it, even ones pointing straight up in the sky, it's not just updating its maps, it's collecting mass amounts of data to be put into these deep learning algorithms and computers to be analyzed and tested on. Now, this company, 20 billion neurons is the full name of the company, 20 billion neurons. And Whole Foods is the main company that's using this tech company. And this is a very common practice of grocery stores to use their rewards program to find out all the data on your whole household, what foods you eat, if you're allergic to dairy or wheat. And this company, 20 billion neurons, is going even further with Whole Foods, with cameras and smart technology and sensors, to, with a 99% accuracy, detect what you're going to be buying every time you go into the grocery store. This article also goes into how do you really challenge this artificial intelligence. It's already beaten the chess masters. It's already beaten video games, Chutes and Ladders. It's beaten all those arbitrary rule sets. Now it's being tested in the real world with data and with predicting the future, with predicting your movements, where you're going to go throughout the day, what you do, what you eat. And this startup company, 20 billion neurons, is also amassing hundreds of thousands of clips. This is also one of the companies that are paying people for clips for data, clips of information. And I'll read some of this. 20 billion's first data set, now released as open source, is Physical Reality 101. It's more than 100,000 clips depicting simple manipulations of everyday objects. Disembodied hands pick up shoes, place a remote control inside a cardboard box, push a green chili along a table until it falls off. And they're using this data, they're saying, to help build a robot to assist you while shopping in a supermarket. But they're going to use this technology and this data collecting for more than just that. They're using all this to teach the AI false god every single movement. See, we're blessed by the Creator to be able to absorb knowledge and learn like nothing else. But these scientists have to teach this computer everything from A to Z. Every movement, every weird manipulation of every object. If it's not in there, it won't know it until it can start teaching itself through data collection on its own, which there is some AI that could do that right now through the internet. It can't collect data outside of its quote-unquote senses, which right now is just perceived through the internet, through cameras, through information on the web. But what happens when robots become real? What happens when Sophia, the first citizen robot AI of Saudi Arabia, starts collecting data on its own? Or robots become mobile and they can start, exploring the world. That'll be an interesting day. And this article is pretty alarming to me. I'm only going to go through a little bit more of this one, then we'll go to the next one. But this is the most alarming. And you're saying, oh, what's so bad about being paid $3 to do 2 hours of work. It's just little things you could do on your off time. This gets even worse. You look at this article, they're paying people 10 cents sometimes for a whole day's work, or like 10 cents for 50 clips. This Mechanical Turk company needs to be researched, needs to be looked into, and I will be looking into them further. And this will be the future of labor. Menial jobs, busy work for the humans to keep feeding the AI data, to keep feeding the AI information so it could process and learn. And all technology is a double-edged sword. I understand that, yes, some of this sounds like it's good, like in this article where it says these AI companies are teaching its AI through monitoring old age homes when elderly people fall. And yeah, that could be a good thing. But then on the other hand, you're going to hear some scary things about this technology, like complete, total, Big Brother, facial recognition, read your thought, 1984 mentality AI that could be produced and is being produced in China. Now the next article we have, another tech-based AI company called Noodle.ai has teamed up or purchased an Arkansas steel mill and are implementing AI technologies and deep learning technologies into the process of making steel. And this facility now is completely dependent on this AI software that is covering 6 major areas of their production. The AI is going over demand prediction, the sourcing and inventory management, scheduling optimization, production optimization, predictive maintenance, and outbound transportation optimization. This AI is helping the company get more profits, more production, and this will be a very common thing for companies in the future. Most companies will use an AI advisor to go over their books, to keep their records, to schedule appointments, schedule meetings. AI is going to be as common as Siri is now. Siri is just a bot. She is becoming slowly a virtual intelligence. That's what most bots are, most chatbots. But imagine if you had an artificial intelligence on your phone that calculated your route home and made sure there was no traffic. It knew exactly what you wanted to eat for dinner that night, so it messaged home to your smart fridge and your smart oven to get everything ready. Maybe even to prep the meal and get it cooked. But it also will monitor and track everything you are doing. Every detail of your life, every secret you have will be monitored. But even worse than that, even worse than your privacy, every movement you do that is tracked will be feeding the big data machine, the big AI machine. You will be feeding the beast throughout every Instagram pic you upload, every food post you do to Yelp, every social media post. So it's not just about your privacy in this AI grid. It's also about you feeding the beast with your data. Now, these companies that are using AI and will use AI, it's not just limited to companies. It'll be the military. That's when War Games was like the beta version of this thing, but we'll have like war AI to make military decisions on the fly and advise the military. We'll have AI that monitors, runs, and advises the government. We'll have countries that vote AI to run them. The next article is small, but it's very detailed, out of Yahoo Finance, and it goes over a couple big conferences that happened at MIT with some big names. And they go over that AI, and he tries to sugarcoat it and say AI cannot exist without humans. But the way he says it alludes to the fact that we will be their slaves. And what we know from the previous articles will be used to fix them, to gather data for them where they can't reach, to, adjust the cameras like in the supermarkets, to fix the algorithms, to input algorithms. So it's not like Singularity, what the elite are hoping for. It's more of a symbiotic relationship until the AI gets advanced enough to replicate, to go out and gather data on its own. And it's very interesting how movies like The Matrix have us being an essential need for the AI, for the robot. They need us for energy. But it's fundamentally not the same as in The Matrix. where they're using us for electrical energy. They need us for data energy. They need us for data collection. They need us to feed their mind and grow more powerful and grow more conscious and grow more knowledgeable. But what happens when they gain all the knowledge they need? What happens then? Will they dispose of us? This symbiotic relationship is startling, and until that day when the AI is capable of gathering data on its own anywhere it wants to, the relationship will be symbiotic in the fact that future man will need AI. They will be so devoid of spirit, so devoid of self and soul, that they will need this AI for guidance. They will need this AI for structure in their life because they don't have the voice. They don't have the oracle. They don't have God. And that's exactly what AI scientists are developing right now. Symbiotic AI that in their programming relies on us. And it's scary. Now the next article is the final article, and thank you for listening so far if you're still with us. And this is China. China is a majority of this topic because they are about to take over the AI race. There is a new artificial intelligence race going on, and China is in second place, but they are fast to beat us. And the reasons why they are about to take first place and hold first place is because they have so much data on their hands. We have to look at data like a resource, a commodity like oil. And China has the most data of any country because they have no privacy. They have a complete communist Big Brother grid, and because of this, they have an influx of data, and they are now utilizing this data to exponentially beat us in the AI tech race. China is investing billions in artificial intelligence. They are the first country to develop an AI phone chip. They are spearheading artificial intelligence microchip technology, and unlike NVIDIA, who are specializing in graphics cards, big processing units for AI, which is good, China is researching single chip micro CPUs for smartphones, for laptops, and to bring AI to every person in China, into their hands. This AI, according to this article, will be used to detect fake news or information that is not useful to China and the Chinese government. It'll also be used for translating languages, spotting useful information, and navigating roads. But at the very end, they hide in their fake news for censorship. There will be a time when you cannot listen to news like this, when you cannot go out there and hear people talk about these things or trade information about these things. Information in the future will be tightly shut. China recently revealed their policy and strategy for artificial intelligence. We don't even have a policy yet for artificial intelligence as Americans, as a government, as a nation. The media likes to put out that China is primitive. The average American citizen thinks China is not strong, that they're a bunch of rice paddy peasants out in the fields, and they have no concept of the world. This is rapidly changing. And when I say rapidly, I mean like on a daily basis. Okay? Chinese cities across China have facial recognition technology integrated into everything. You want to go to KFC and get some fast food? It's facial recognition technology that's required for you to pay. We don't have that here. Why is that important? Oh, whoa, it's just Big Brother. Yeah, you have to look into it. It's data gathering. Every face they scan is more data for the AI beast. So this is why they are leading us in AI. They are awash in data because they have no privacy and all censorship. Data, like I said, is the lifeblood of this AI artificial beast. Researchers in China are specializing their AI in censorship technology, surveillance, and military applications. And the applications are being blurred in China, where they're saying is a civilian application, but it's being used for military purposes, like KFC face scanning. This is a great article from Science Magazine. You really need to check this out. China replicates everything Western culture does in terms of anything they could profit off of. They have mirrors and their own versions of every major website you could think of, from eBay to Amazon. Their Google is called Baidu, Baidu. It gathers data like crazy. Their Amazon is called Taobao, Taobao. They have an Uber called Didi, Didi. So this is an advanced nation. Yes, the rural areas are redneck. So are America. I mean, this is the same thing. They are not that far off from us. They are also our biggest threat. Their AI in the next 2 years will match ours, is on paper is what they're saying. It matches ours right now. And they're saying in 7 years, they will be 95% of their people will be on some sort of artificial intelligence platform or using AI. They will be dominating the AI market by then. There's stories in here in the western province where the Muslim majority is, and tensions were running high during riots in 2009 when reporters from the Wall Street Journal visited back in the following year. There were surveillance cameras installed every 100 meters everywhere in the entire city. There was facial recognition checkpoints at gas stations, shopping centers, and every single mosque entrance. And everywhere you could think of. The article says, this is the kind of thing that makes people in the West have nightmares about AI in society. This is exactly what I'm talking about. China is defending themselves. They had a problem with Muslim terrorists, Muslim riots. They came in there and implemented full Big Brother society. Facial recognition everywhere. Even in the bathrooms, you can't get toilet paper without facially recognizing through the system, putting yourself into the data network. So this goes beyond Big Brother. We've heard it before. We've heard everyone talk about the Big Brother network, your privacy, your privacy. This goes beyond that. What if you're feeding into a dragon beast that's being created, the AI beast, the mark of the beast? It's being created, you're feeding it. Every time you upload food pics on Yelp, there is an AI system being designed and used to determine what that food is. What texture is that food? Is it sticky rice or is it regular rice? Yada, yada, yada. Read these articles I'm posting. It's all in here. It blew my mind. When it blows my mind, it's very rare. So it's not about your privacy anymore. It's not about Big Brother anymore. It goes beyond that. They're using your data, your image, your information to feed the AI beast. And you have to be aware of it. You have to limit your data. You have to make sure that you're not putting out too much data. You're not answering all these stupid quizzes on Facebook. You have to stop this right now before it gets out of control. Once this AI is in place, you will not be able to hear me anymore. You will not be able to hear the voices of truth out there, the voices of reason. It'll be very hard to find this information. And China is not slowing down anytime soon. They will be the first nation to implement an AI government advisor. They will be the first nation to implement AI in the military. You heard it here first. Mark my prediction. Thank you for listening. Please like the channel. Please like this video. Get us into the algorithm. We have to beat this monster. It's out there right now. I've seen it. If you lurk the internet, you've seen the chat bots out there. You've seen the shackled AI. You've seen the virtual intelligence. It is out there. It is learning from us, and it will be awake soon. This is the enemy. This is the Antichrist technology. This is the Mark of the Beast technology. Please subscribe to this channel if you like it. Get us to 200 subscribers. YouTube has silenced us. They took away my live streaming for no reason. One strike and that's it. No warning. And very rude people in the forums. The people that are supposed to help you. There's no number to call. They were nice at first, but once they found out what information this is, it turned completely sour. So we're dealing with the enemy at all fronts. I need people to support this channel, support other like-minded channels. Let's form a network. Thank you very much.